Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Kingsbury. Have you ever heard a song so many times that you never ever want to hear it again? Well, today we got a list for you. It's We Never Want to Hear These 10 Songs Again, Ever. This is a media feed story by Daniel Bugspan. So if you have an issue with one of these songs on the list, talk to Daniel. Let's get into it. There's a unique kind of heartbreak in a great song ruined by relentless overexposure. Think of classics like Jumpin' Jack Flash or Who Are You? Once vibrant and exciting, now grating after countless radio spins. We bear some responsibility, of course. Radio stations respond to demand, and we, the listeners, created that demand. But at a certain point, blame becomes irrelevant. We just want the sonic assault to stop. Here are 10 songs so overplayed, we'd rather risk a high-speed exit than endure another note. At number 1 on the list is Hey Jude by the Beatles, released in 1986. If Hey Jude was just the song that stopped at the 309 mark, we probably would have fewer problems with it. Sadly, that obvious point at which they could have ended the song literally on a high note is immediately followed by a single chord progression and sing-along non-lyrics that go on for 4 minutes, making the ending longer than the actual song. By the time they're 2 minutes into the ending, you may wish for a 2-minute coma to take over, and so you don't have to hear the rest. At number 2 on the list is Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses, released in 1987. Guns N' Roses achieved superstardom and chart success thanks to this ballad from their Appetite for Destruction album. It is impossible to overstate how often innocent ears were subjected to it daily during its heyday, and there was nowhere you could go to get away from it. It blasted from passing cars, and even people who didn't like heavy metal or hard rock would play it if they would get a few drinks in them. Luckily for this piece of music, much worse songs came along in the ensuing years, so it now seems brilliant in comparison. At number 3 on the list is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, released in 1981. We know we bring up this song a lot, but we would be shirking our journalistic duties if we did not include Journey's Don't Stop Believin' on our list of overplayed songs. The song was already overplayed when it came out over 40 years ago, and to people of a certain age, seeing it resurface with a vengeance in the 2000s was akin to witnessing a long-dead, hated relative claw its way out of a grave to terrorize townfolk and feast upon their warm flesh. At number 4 on today's list is Wonderwall by Oasis, released in 1995. Maybe we're old-fashioned, but we've always believed that if a song becomes a big radio hit played ad infinitum, it would be nice if the singer could actually sing. Sadly, when Wonderwall came out and became a massive hit, it was sung by Liam Gallagher. The reason that we're glad they invented auto-tune. His off-key nasal voice makes you sick of the song a lot faster than you usually would if it were sung by someone tolerable. At number 5 on today's list is Proud Mary by Creedence Clearwater Revival, released in 1969. If you want to pick overplayed songs by Creedence, there is no shortage of choices, and we could make an entire 20-item list of overplayed songs just by them alone. For this list, we're going to with Proud Mary, a massive seller that charted internationally. These factors may have led radio programmers to believe this 54 years later. We still yearn to hear it several times daily. We don't. Do yourself a favor and check out the vastly superior version recorded by the late Tina Turner instead. At number 6 on today's list is Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac, released in 1977. Just like a Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fleetwood Mac has to its credit a seemingly bottomless supply of overplayed songs, making it a challenge to isolate just one for this list. We're going with Don't Stop, an excusably a trite song full of me-decade toxic positivity that suggests that tomorrow will miraculously be better than today, solely by virtue of it happening in the future. We will take the song's advice and await a tomorrow in which we never have to hear this song again. At number 7 on today's list is Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, released in 1991. When the grunge genre hit, it was supposed to replace the outdated idealism of generations past and embrace a more world-weary view. In reality, it just became the next source of overplayed songs, none of which got more overplayed than this. Critics at the time said that the song expressed the feelings of the era's teenagers. But when you look at the lyric sheet, it's just a bunch of nonsensical rhyming words strung together haphazardly. Also, shouldn't the band be cancelled for using a very un-PC description of a person of mixed race? At number 8 on today's list is Umbrella by Rihanna featuring Jay-Z, released in 2007. It pains us to include Rihanna on this list because she's a gifted singer who's produced a lot of really enjoyable music. She even wows Super Bowl audiences while pregnant. Having said that, how many times do you need to hear the last 2 syllables of the word umbrella before you need the men in white coats to come after you with butterfly nets? That's a rhetorical question, of course, but the song was ruinously overplayed, and over 15 years later, we're still in recovery. At number 9 on today's list is Love Shack by the B-52s, released in 1989. If the mere mention of this song's title fills you with mortal terror, congratulations. That means you've been alive at some point since 1989 and have personally been on hand to see this throwaway novelty song turn into an instrument of torture. The B-52s had been turning out unique and entertaining music for most of the 80s, so it's a shame that their worst song, yes, it's their worst song, became what they're best known for. Luckily, they never overplayed Rock Lobster, so we can still hang on to that and remember what once was. And finally, at number 10, the last song on today's list is Let It Go by Idina Menzel, released in 2014. If you are unable or unwilling to bear children, you might have escaped the 2010s without hearing Idina Menzel's Let It Go on the regular. For the rest of us who had kids around the time of the movie Frozen came out, this song was a permanent fixture in our daily lives, like humidity or termites. Children, it seems, like to hear the same song over and over again, and you'd better believe we heard this one all the time. At the same time, no one forced us to take our kids to see Frozen in the first place, so maybe this one is on us. Alright, there you have it. We never want to hear these 10 songs again, ever. This is Daniel Buckspan. He's wrote this article, so if it's a little harsh on some of your favorite artists, it's on him, not me. Get in that comment section and let me know, did any of these songs get overplayed and you never want to hear them again? I think Umbrella is on that list for me with a Rihanna song, but some of the others, B-52's Love Shack, I like to hear that one. Smells Like Teen Spirit brings me back to 91. And Nirvana, I like to hear that one. So for me, I think half these songs are fine, I like to hear them, but get in that comment section and let me know what you think. Guns N' Roses, I always love to hear Guns N' Roses, so some of these songs I think were not really worthy of the list, but let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear from you. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, please take a second to give it a thumbs up. Hit that big thumbs up like button, smash that button to help get this video in front of a few more eyes. We're trying to build the channel, and that would really help me out. And if you really enjoy this sort of content, consider subscribing to the channel. We put out 2 to 3 videos a day, so there's always something fun and fresh for you to watch. I thank you for watching this one to the very end. I'm Brian Kingsbury. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.